So a little pro tip here for the pigeons in the wintertime. I've been doing this for about, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. I take these, you get these dog bowls, and model 93-UL-1, 5 quart, 50 watts. And you have to get the right one because it's got a removable, it shows right on the front. Some of them say removable heating element, some don't. So the ones that aren't removable, they're molded in, you can't get them out. So you got to buy the one with the removable heating element, which is here. So you just take this off and just pry it up, and it pops out. The dog bowl, I don't know what you do with it, throw it away, or I have dogs, I use the bowl in the summer on the back porch for the dogs, but this just pries out. I would say easily, but it's not super easy to get out. So there's your heating element. That's your dog bowl. So you don't need that. You need this. It's a nice heating element. So then you take, I got my old table saw, not for woodworking. I got my good one there. This is my beater one. Take an old bucket and cut it about, I don't know, 4 inches. Set your fence. Just run it through carefully. Cut the top off. Then you'll have the bottom with a very rough cut because you can't get a good cut with the bucket. It's tilted and stuff. So then when it's this size, you're going to set your fence for 2.5 inches, and then you can hold the bucket flat against the fence here very carefully, and then just kind of move it into the blade and just spin it, and you'll get a nice even 2.5 inch cut. So you throw that away. So now you got a 2.5 inch. These have a lip on them, so if you're good about it and you keep it clean, that's fine. It'll hold the water jug on there, but I'm terrible with it and it gets scudgy water in there, so I just trim that off. I just trim it off like this carefully on the saw. Then go ahead and drill a 1-inch hole, and then you're going to grab your heating element, put that face down, put your heating element face down, and put your plug through. Don't cut a slot. I did that the first time. Then it's very weak here, and it ends up, the water dish squashes it and it flattens out and it doesn't sit right. So make a hole, not a slot for the wire, and just feed your wire through. I think the other ones I have are 40 watt. These are 50 watt. A little different. But. So feed your wire through. Then I kind of center it. It doesn't sit perfectly flat. It's got a temperature sensor built in, so it won't overheat. Trying to get a clean bucket. This one had mortar in it. Then what I do is I take I used a bolt last year because it was fatter. But I'm going to try something new this year. So you take a screw and you're going to run it through and just pin it, run it at an angle and kind of just pin it down. I'll go out the top. So see, it's pinned down. It's just pushing the plastic down. I do 4 of those. So I won't sit there and do all 4, but I do 4 of those. Then after you get the 4 done, you pull them out because you got them going in this way, and then you run the screw up through the hole so there's no sharp edge on the outside, and that just pins it down. So it's nice and snug, and that's how I used to use them. So now you just put that down, you plug it in, and you put your regular plastic 1 gallon, I don't have any here, regular plastic 1 gallon screw top water. You just set it on there, and it keeps it, even when it's really cold, generally it'll stay. You put the water on there in the morning, it's going to at least stay for probably, I don't know, generally till nighttime it stays, even when it's 0 out. If it's less than 0, it'll at least stay thawed for 3-4 hours with that 40 watt or 50 watt heater underneath it. Then in the morning, it's still generally water halfway up the jug, the gallon jug. And then the top of the jug is generally frozen, but there's still water for them. Then, of course, I change it out. Then they have the water all day thawed until nighttime it freezes again. But you could use a heavier heater, but I like the 40 or 50 watts because I got 3 of them, and I'm cheap, and I don't want to waste money running water heaters at night when the birds aren't going to drink. It doesn't make any sense. But what I'm going to try this year is I'm going to try filling it with the foam. So I'm going to fill it with the foam, let it dry, and I'm hoping that's going to keep more of the heat in and going up. Of course, heat rises anyway, so I don't know if this is going to do anything. But I want it to hold it in too, so I'm going to try this, see if it works. This is experimental, so I don't know if this is going to work or not. And I'll just come back with a hacksaw blade and just clean the top off. I'm going to do the same to this one. Should have got it ready before I did that, but quickly, once that stuff dries on the tip there, the can stops working. So I'm hoping that's going to hold in the element better too. So see, I just run it in this way at an angle, pin it down, and then I just back it out and just flip the screw over, back up at an angle through the hole, not into the heater, just above it. It just goes above it, holds it in, and then you don't have the sharps at the side sticking out. Hit the heating element, you want to go above it. So just tip your screw up there. See, it's going above it, and that'll hold it in. And then I'm just going to foam it just like that one, let it dry, and then anything that's sticking up. So then when you flip it over, once it's foamed and dry, you flip it over, you put your water jug on there, keeps it perfect. So I'm in New England, it gets to sometime in the negative, but if it's 0 or -5 even, it keeps the water fine. So it at least keeps it liquid all day so they can drink, because I only do my birds once a day. I don't have time to do them twice. So that's an excellent way. I've been doing that for I don't know how many years, and they last. I've had the older ones now for like 4 years. I'm just making new ones now because the buckets are bad, not the heating elements. I'm going to swap them out. I'll take the heating elements out of the old ones, and I'll make new ones like this. with the other heating elements. I just have a spare on hand in case something happens. So this really works out great. So I think those dog bowls are 29 bucks. I found them cheaper here and there, but just make sure it's got the removable heating element. And geez, I wish I had a measuring tape. I could give you the, see if I can find a measuring tape. I'll give you the diameter of that heating element. It fits in the bucket. It's 9.5 inches, the heating element. So that's perfect. It fits right in the bottom of the bucket. This dog bowl is about 12 inch. I would call that a 12-inch dog bowl. So if you can get this brand, Allied Precision, model 93-UL-1, 5-quart. And then just take the heating element out and use the dog bowls for whatever you want. And then make some of these up. Then you can use your regular 1-gallon screw top water, or the red bottom with the white top that everybody uses for 100 years. Just set it right on there. It doesn't melt. It's perfect.